Hey guys, I'm MeeMee and I do Allsorts, and today we have another Smart Art box. So this is, I don't know what month it is now, help, it's May. If you don't know, Smart Art is an art subscription box from the US. It has all kinds of art supply. I'm not sponsored, not affiliated, and with that said, let's see what's in May's box. So May we get some beautiful orange paper, and under that paper we get ta-da! Ooh! Okay, so first off we got the Smart Art booklet and gives us a list of everything in the box, hints and tips and even some art prompts in the back, but we are not going to look at that just yet because I want to be surprised. So putting that aside, ooh, this is interesting. So first up we have our Smart Art sticker written in pop art type style. Up next we have a really interesting addition. I have never received an eraser set. This is ultra cool. So we've got a set of 6 cookies eraser set. So we've got 2 milk cartons, one in white and one in pink, and then we've gone for different icing filled cookies. Now I'm definitely not going to be using these, I'm going to save them because they're too cute to actually use, so this is the first and last time that you are going to see them. Then it's quite cute. You get little illustrations in the back, and I love the way how it says erasers not edible. Well, thank you for them, because I was getting a bit hungry. Right, next up we have Strathmore mixed media postcards. So we're getting 15 of them, and then 4x6, £184, 300 GSM, and it's acid free. So this is what they look like. They're quite cute, and on the back it says Strathmore in the corner, a place to stamp here, and a place to write down the address. Now I've never actually painted and drawn on a postcard before, so this is going to be really interesting. And what's more is that I have never used Strathmore before, so this is going to be fun. So up next we have a mechanical pencil by the looks of things. It's a really nice unusual design. So this is an Eco-Friends 2.0mm auto pencil, and I think this is by Bale. Got a really nice grip here with the metal tip, and what's unusual about this is, and you've got into little window here, and it's in 2B pencil. Ooh, that's interesting. It actually moves, so we've got a HB, 3B, 4B, and back to 2B. Oh, I've never seen a feature like that before. Okay, I'm really intrigued to know what that means. And because on the other end as well, where our eraser will be, but pulling it out, I can't see anything. But meaning to put the leads in. Oh wow, I just pushed down and that came out. That is thick. And now I'm really excited to try this out. I have not got a mechanical pencil this big before. Up next we've got a tin with 12 coloured pencils in by Brunzeel. Now I've actually just used these exact pencils in another box, and they worked really beautifully, and so I'm actually really excited in the fact that we get 12 different colours. So this is what the tin looks like. The colours look absolutely beautiful, so I really cannot wait to try these out. Now the problem with these pencils is that they don't actually have the colour name on them, and it's just like a number, so you really have to rely on what colour the lead is or what colour the end is. But that is so cool, and I love the fact that it comes in a tin. Alrighty, up next is something that I have used before. This is a Lyra Rembrandt Splendor, and this is, I believe, a blending pencil. I don't necessarily like using these. They don't really blend that well in my personal experience, but it could be the pencils I'm using. I'm not entirely too sure, and so it'll be interesting to see what it's like with the Brunzeels. Right, up next, so these are graphic sketch markers by Marabou. We get 6 different colours. Ooh, Okay, these barrels are totally different than the ones that I've got. So these are alcohol-based markers, and this is one they look like. They're a grey barrel, and on the ends you've got the colour and the number. On one end you've got this black band, which when I pull the cap on reveals the bullet nib, and on the other a chisel. So I think that these are totally different to the ones I've got, because these are just the alcohol based ones. The other ones that I've got, which are actually a sleek barrel, and then permanent alcohol based markers. So maybe these are going to be more like Copics, since it just is alcohol based. I'm actually quite excited to try these out. So as you can see there, we've got different colours. So we've got green, blue, pink, red I think it is, and yellow. And last but not least, we've got this funky little number. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, okay, so it looks like it's a pencil wrap. That is so cool and ultra funky. I really do love this pattern. It's like a bygone era, something that I remember growing up in the 90s, and that is like ultra funky. So yeah, all you do, put your pencils in there. You've got like a little bottom compartment if you want to put an eraser in there. It's somewhere to put the pencils, then fold it around and tie it up with the string. So that's going to be a really nice addition, used in conjunction with all of my other pencil cases. And then last but not least, our snack for this month, and Jelly Bellies. Now I really do love Jelly Bellies, and all my life the flavours are amazing. So I'm going to enjoy these later. Alright, so now it's my favourite from part of doing any kind of subscription box, and that is to try out all of the supplies. So first off, I'm starting with the big boy. I really want to see how this feels and goes down. Like I said, I've never had one of these before. Ooh. That's nice. I actually quite like that, and it's actually quite comfortable to hold. The gripping is very triangular, so you can grip onto it really nicely. Still haven't got a clue what this bit means. Maybe every time you twist it and like adapts to what other lens you put in. I'm not entirely too sure. So next is the Bronzeel pencils. Now I'm just putting the white down, and you can't see it, I can't see it, but it feels so smooth on this paper. Alright, and so that's the colours. And these are actually really beautiful and vibrant in real life. They went down really smoothly, but I do love the colour selection with these, and I am super surprised that I've even got a peachy skin tone as well, which for me, I do not see that in many packs of pencils. And then again, maybe I'm not looking hard enough. The thing about these as well is that the actual lead and the end of the pencil do not match, so I wouldn't go relying on the end of the pencils. So that's something to bear in mind when getting these. So just a quick example here, just so I can use the burnishing pencil. Because if you put it on paper, you're not going to see it. All it does is to blends and to makes the colours darker. Like I say, I'm not an expert in using this. It does actually help blend it in a little bit more. I haven't noticed an increase in saturation, and just sort of like done a bit more of a feathery effect. I'm not really one to use these, and it's the same with like colourless blendings with Copics. So it's like whatever you prefer really. Okay, up next I'm going to try on these sketch markers, and I'm really super excited to try these because like I said, the other sets and to have alcohol based permanent markers, and these ones just say alcohol based, so I'm actually hoping that these do work like Copics. Okay, and that's when they look like, and again they are absolutely vibrant. They do look very neon on camera, but they are so much more saturated and vibrant in real life. I just wish then it would actually show up properly. Now on this paper, and this isn't like specifically 4 markers, so it is just going to seep right through into the paper, and with probably no hope that they are going to blend, but I'm going to try anyway. So I went in with like the red and pink and the blue and green, just so I can see what it's like with similar tones and slightly different tones. I do actually think, again, like I said, it will work a lot better on marker paper. They do stink, so yes, they are alcohol based, but it's nice if you want to have a flat base. Also as well, one thing to note, again, the ends do not match the actual colour. So again, swatch it all out and just don't rely on the ends. So yeah, this is what I'm working with, which then brings me on to the prompts, which are citrus, melted, crunchy and icy. Now these are like weekly prompts, but what I like to do with the Smart Art prompts is I like to mash them together. So considering the colours that we've got, there's a lot of possibilities here. And not only that, but the theme that this box is actually based off is pop art, hence why we've got such vivid colours. So that's a lot to think about. So I'm going to come up with some ideas based around pop art, because I want to use as much colour as possible. So I'm going to come up with a few ideas and I will get back to you. Okay, so first of all, I just want to apologise for the lighting's a bit different. The weather here has been absolutely terrible for the past 4 months. I had some time to think about it, and I actually wanted to really embrace the pop art style and go really colourful with thick black lines, but also keeping to the actual colours and taking creative liberties on certain ideas. So what I did was I'd taken all of the prompts and I'm going to be doing almost like an Andy Warhol-esque piece. So instead of doing 1 piece, I'm doing 4. So I've got 4 postcards here, they're all drawn out, and I've used the kneaded eraser just to lightly pick up most of the graphite, so at least where the lighter colours are concerned, it's not going to smudge. Coming up with the ideas was sort of fairly simple. The colours, that one took me the longest because the pink and the red were far too close, and one of them, they are like really close together, and to me I hate red and pink together. And so after doing a bit of experimenting, I have actually found a solution to it, especially since that I'm using a lot of orange in this. I decided that I was going to go with the citrus thing. For the first prompt it was citrus, so here I've got a variety of different citrus fruits. It was actually quite hard for me to pick out ones that would actually work together so the colours weren't too close, because I was looking at a lot of oranges, greens and yellows. So what I'm going to do is that I'm just going to go in with the flat colour with the markers and then go on top with the pencils to give it a bit, to give it more texture and dimension. And then of course, to finish off the pop art style, everything will be in line with the thick black marker. So I have quite a bit to do, so let's get on with it. Andy Warhol and Rolichtenstein, and then quite possibly the only pop artist and I know off the top of my head. I remember Rolichtenstein because he did all of the semi-realistic cartoon images, with all of the dots and women crying. Right, so now I'm hoping that this is going to work because I don't have an orange, and I did a quick bit of experimenting, and the only good result that I had was putting the red down first and then the yellow. The other way around it just sort of like stayed the same. So here we go, not turning back now. No one could have just coloured this in with the orange pencil, and just really wanted that flat colour and to get all of these different textures in, especially for the ones later on where I don't have browns. But having a flat base colour with the markings, it helps an awful lot. Oh jeez, I've got some bleeds in here, but hopefully the black will hide it. I don't know if you can see, but especially in these light areas it's starting to go orange. I just scribbled some yellow down here and the red hasn't actually transferred over, and so we're okay, kids. Right, so this is how we look in. It took me a while to actually get through all of these, but so as you can see, I've done like the base colour of everything. As you can see, the background colours are different as well for each of them, so they're like I said, a bit more like Candy Warhol. So each one of them had to be different, and also, well, my aim was to make the image really pop, especially with these two here. The one that I did have a lot of problems with, when she can't actually tell because it's on camera, is the one with the pink background. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of red and pink together. I think it's like the worst combination ever because I can't tell the difference between which is which, and it just makes my eyes hurt. And like I said, I went super simple with that because I didn't want to put too much detail in. There is still the actual detail to do, which really will bring all of this together. But it's also, well, I've done this in like two halves, where I've gone two that are going to be a bit more detailed and two that are a bit more plainer. Alright, so then let's get on with the fun stuff. Okay, so now I'm doing all of the details. I don't know how this is going to turn out. You know, I know pop art is meant to be in like flat colours and bold black lines, but I'm going to be adding like a bit of shading to it and just something a bit different really. So I'm going to go in with the bronzes and see how we go. I'm not going to do too much shading because I want to keep like all of the boldness of the colours. I don't know if you can see, but with the pencils I'm actually going around in circles instead of like back and forth. If you go around in circles, you don't get like the streakiness that you would find when, you know, going back and forth. It also helps when making a smoother gradient. See, just like that, I think the pencils actually improved an awful lot. Like I said, it's subtle but very effective. I am actually going to leave the outlines till the very end, because that's like the fun part, and then this one's going to bring everything all together. So now I'm finished with all of the pencil work, and it's looking 10 times better. I can see what everything is now. I don't know if you can, but there's still one final step to go, and that is going to be the funnest part, which is doing the black outlines. Alright, and there we have it. First of all, I'd like to say that even though this looks so simple to do, it actually took me a few days to do it. And doing the extra bits of details with the pencils, and then a lot of research went into actually learning how to do like a crunchy texture or a nice texture. Other than that, I think I actually pulled it off. No, it's simple, it's bright, it's bold, it got the thick outlines, and hopefully you can actually tell them these are citrus fruits. So the way how I've arranged them here is that I've got I've got the two textured ones like diagonal from each other, and like the two more normalish ones across from each other, and I wanted to have different backgrounds just to like really bring everything forward. So first off, we've gone to the citrus fruits. As I said, I only had like at least 3 colours to work with, which was yellow, orange and green, and I did have to improvise with the orange. It did sort of change the red a bit, so here I've chosen a pink grapefruit, a lime, a pomelo, a kumquat, a tangerine and a yuzu. The crunchy one was actually a bit more difficult because I have never done a crunchy texture before, and I may never do it again. So I went with the yellow for the golden biscuit colour, and then went in with the bit of the brown just to try and get some textures in. Definitely one of my least faves, but at least I've had a good go. I tried to do like cream filling for at least 3 of them, but the yuzu sort of like came out like an egg. But again, I tried. Right, up next is the ice one, and this one I like a bit better than the crunchy, and again I have never done a nice texture before. With this one, I'm trying to do like different techniques. This one is one of my favourites. Just testing out some different techniques. And the last one, which is the melted. Now, this one I really didn't love the idea of, but when it got to like the background, as I've mentioned earlier, I hate pink and red together, but it was like the only option I had left. So it's a bit better on camera because the pink and the orange are actually separating a bit more. But I actually did have fun with this, and simplistic but it's really effective. And then of course it's together, and that's what it looks like. Now I have to admit I had so much fun doing this, despite the fact that I didn't know how to do half of the textures. I was limited with the colours, but again I had so much fun doing it. And the subtleness of the pencils do actually bring it out a lot more. And I'm actually quite glad that I did go with this colour scheme, and you know, and just laying down bold flat colours, and then of course outlining it with the black pen, which gives it that pop art feel. So with that said, into my review of the supplies. Now this pencil I absolutely loved using. It was so comfortable to use, it was very lightweight, I could do big sweeping motions, and I really enjoyed using it. The sketch markers, I absolutely loved the vibrancy of the colours. They went down vibrantly, they worked really well together. The only complaint I do have with these are that they were really awkward to hold. Because they're a square barrel, I couldn't get a proper grip with it. So that's really my only complaint. Other than that, they were really good to work with. The Brunzels were an absolute dream to work with. They went down so nicely, they blended beautifully, the colours were so vibrant, and they were just an extra nice little touch for what I was going for, and they did actually work really well on top of the markers, so I would actually recommend getting some of the things just to try them out. The blending pencil I did not use, and like I said right at the beginning, I didn't really see difference within it, and it's actually meant to burnish the colours, you know, though you were pressing really hard down on the pencil and to really bring the colour out. Again, not my cup of tea. I could be using it wrong, so don't take my word for it. You know, give it a go yourself. You might never know, and you might actually like it. And last but not least, we've got the mixed media postcards. Now, apart from them being extremely awkward to tear around because I was terrified of ripping them in half, they are really thick and they were beautiful to work on. They took a really good beating, but as you can see, it only ghosted through, it didn't bleed through, so whatever you're writing there, it's going to come out clear. But I tell you what, that does actually look quite cool in itself. And you know what, it was actually quite nice when working on a smaller canvas, so I definitely will be using these again, right? And that's everything, I believe. So this has actually been quite a long journey, but I'm enjoying every moment of it. And this didn't take a little bit longer because I was doing 4 separate drawings as opposed to one, but just seeing them all together like this makes it well worth it. So if you guys would like to have your own smart art box, I will leave a link in the description box below. And with that said, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.